guys, welcome back to my channel. Back with another personal finance video, and I just wanted to make a video today on using my experience and sharing with you guys how I was able to create multiple streams of income and how I would advise anyone who was like my close friends and stuff to go about creating multiple streams of income, because it can be quite overwhelming as well, especially because like most of us, let's say going into university, for example, you're just thinking about getting that one job. Like that's how we kind of see our future. But then now all of a sudden there's this big, drive for like having multiple streams of income and stuff. And sometimes it's difficult to know where to start and how to actually build multiple streams of income. So in today's video, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. But before we get started, let me just do some quick housekeeping. An individual's financial experiences or even advice cannot be applicable to everybody because we all have such different financial backgrounds, financial setups. There are so many factors that influence how our finances are set up and what we are able to do. So you should never watch any sort of personal finance video and expect that everything that person says is going to be able to just map onto your life. And also the advice that I'm going to give is obviously going to probably be most applicable for people who are in a similar situation to myself. And final piece of housekeeping, if you don't like personal finance videos, if you feel insecure about your own financial situation, if you feel like people shouldn't be talking about personal finances and blah, 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 especially women, then just don't watch the video. Okay, so now let's get started. So the first thing that I would advise is to secure your main stream of income first. That thing that you do that brings in that stability and that consistency, that thing that supports your welfare, I would secure that first. So if you are a university student, for example, it might be the job that you want to get. Whatever that is for whoever is watching this, secure that first and make sure that it's consistent and that it's stable and that it's secure, because one, that can be the key to supporting your other streams of income in terms of actually using that capital to then build other streams of income. Two, it allows you to build other income streams without like the mental strain and stress of actually like I need this business, or I need this YouTube channel, or I need this page to like do amazingly well because my whole lifestyle depends on it. If you have like your mainstream of income or your job or your whatever it is, your career secured, then you don't have as much pressure on those other income streams. Part of like making sure your mainstream of income is secure is actually just taking the time to actually just be in that income stream and actually understand the job and what you're doing and to feel comfortable enough. I know that for myself as well, when I started my grad scheme, I found it quite hard. It was quite difficult, and I wasn't actually thinking of new income streams when I started. I just wanted to find my feet. Luckily, I had already started other income streams before I started my grad job. But once I started, like I know for the first 4 months, it was very difficult to just get accustomed to just working live. So don't feel the pressure that as soon as you start your job, like then you need to start looking for multiple streams of income. So for me, this happened in my second year of university. I was very career driven from, I would say like from my A levels. I kind of knew what kind of career I wanted to go down. And then I spent the time trying to figure out, okay, cool, this is the career that I want to go down. What do I have to do? So in my second year of university, I got like in the first few months, I got an offer for a summer internship, and I did that internship in the summer going into my third year of university. And so, in that summer, I was able to get a return offer for a grad scheme. So by the second year of university, the end of second year, going into third year, I had my job secured. And after I did that, that was when I started to then look to other streams of income. So once you have your main stream of income, I would say that the next important thing is to actually assess how much time you have to spare. Because this is like super important to figuring out like what sort of income streams you want to build. This should be your guiding principle as to what your next focus is going to be. Now, the second thing that I'm going to say is when you are building out multiple streams of income, I think, especially if you have like a mainstream that is like 9 to 5 or longer in terms of like what's that, like at least 40 hours a week, is that you should also minimize the amount of active income streams. For example, if you only have 10 hours left each week to spare to create something outside of your corporate job and outside of just normal things that you need to do for life, then trying to have multiple active businesses is just not going to be productive and fruitful. You will end up burning yourself out out 101%. So for example, let's say you're a nurse and then you also want to run a wig making business, and then you also want to do Amazon delivery, and then you also want to do nails. Like, you can't have 4 active businesses or active income streams going. It's just going to be too much. I mean, go ahead if you want to, but I don't think that is a sustainable way to create multiple streams of income. And also, you just won't have enough energy to pour into any of them. So you'll probably see that like maybe 2 of those streams aren't fruitful, and the worst thing that can happen is that you have 4 active streams of income, but then your main stream of income, let's say your nursing job, that is affected by the fact that you're trying to do all of these other things, because this is your main form of bread and butter. So what I would say is maximum at a time of 3 active income streams. So for me, I was actually, when I actually started my job, so I had my job, which I work really long hours. Like I am a credit analyst in an investment bank, so my hours are really quite long. And then I also was doing YouTube. I was posting about once a week at the time, and then I was also doing services. Like over on the resource bank, I was offering like CV consultations and cover letters, as well as just selling resources. And I had to stop with the services because I didn't have enough energy to, you know, do all of that during the week and then go and like actually pour into someone else and their CV and help them with all the applications and stuff in a one-to-one aspect. I just didn't have enough energy. And even in terms of just charging, like the way that the amount that it would take for me to actually want to do that, like I would have to highly disconnect the price that I was charging with like the value that I was given. Like, and that's when I realized I had to stop doing services. I would say focus on 3, and then that will naturally sprout other opportunities. Even people that you see that they have 8 streams of income, 11 streams of income, usually they focus on a few first, and when you also focus on a income stream, it then sprouts up new opportunities. So for example, let's say like you bought your first property, right? And you have an income stream where you're receiving rental income from your tenants, right? And you think, great, cool, I have this income stream. But then what you might notice is once you share that experience, then other people are like, actually, like I'm really interested in learning about your process. I also want to buy, can you do consultation? Maybe from that you start doing, you know, you start helping people or coaching people through their house buying journeys, or maybe you start your own course. But usually with people who have like serial like streams of income, it usually starts like, there's usually multiple income streams that are related to like one bigger income stream. Really good example that a lot of people who make these videos have is like YouTube. Like they'll say YouTube is a stream of income, but then also from YouTube you would see income streams like sponsorships, and then you will see income streams like affiliate links. Okay, let's say like you have a maximum of 2 active income streams outside of your job. So let's say you're a nurse, and then sometimes you make wigs for people, and then other times you do Amazon delivery, maybe on the weekday, on the weekend. You then was still thinking, okay, cool, I want more streams of income. Or if you don't want to have any active income stream outside of your main job, then I would say that passive income streams are the way to go. I am definitely a big fan of passive income streams, because I was listening to this podcast by this guy called Naval, and like this whole concept of like, you know, choosing careers, or for me in this case, I'm interpreting it as, you know, choosing income streams where the inputs are highly disconnected to the outputs, especially if you have like a very hectic main income stream. So like your job, your, you know, your first main secure income stream, if that's hectic, especially then, I think that passive income streams where like the outputs are disconnected with the inputs is probably the best way to go. So for me, that was property. So after going into my 3rd year, I was less focused on academics because I'd already done well academically, and I knew that I had enough to secure my main job. And so I was like, I want to focus on what's next in my life, and that was creating multiple streams of income, because my bigger goal is to create, you know, financial freedom for myself. And so that's when I started to get into property. And so I guess if some of you are new here, so I guess I would call myself a property investor. And the reason why I would say that property is a good example is because, for example, like I did an Instagram story about this as well, but as of right now, I don't do anything as it pertains to my property besides check the invoice when I'm paid from actually the management company. Check the invoice and make sure it's, you know, it makes sense, and that's all I do. But I still get money every single month, and I do nothing as it currently stands. However, the thing with passive income streams, that I found anyway with the ones that I've set up is they do take a lot to get going. So for example, for my property, I actually have a video on this. I had to save maybe like £40,000. And so obviously that takes a while to get going. And it did take me a while. I did buy like 6-7 months after I graduated from university. But I started this in my 3rd year of university. So there was a whole year of just learning about property, knowing that I had to save. I was already saving anyways. Just one thing that I would say is that not everyone's property income stream is passive. And this is like obvious to people who know about property, but for some of you, you may not know that. So some people choose to get like a fix me apart sort of property. So they'll buy a really cheap property that's probably not in the best condition. And then they will do the renovations and then either bring a tenant in or like resell or stuff like that. There are so many different property strategies, but I just chose the one that was the most passive. And so that kind of involved as well, like buying a property that was in good condition. Like when my saucer, so I also use a saucer, so it's like extra passive, because like one of my main criteria was, please just make sure that this is a property where I don't have to be thinking about getting builders in and reconstructing and this and that. I want it to be like almost a ready to go investment property. That is kind of like my overall in terms of like how to grow and create multiple income streams. I would say, like, for risk adverse people, secure your main stream of income. Don't start anything that is going to jeopardize that. So for me, a lot of people are like, oh my god, but you're a banker and you also have a YouTube channel. Before I started like officially my job, I made the relevant people who needed to know at the bank that I work at aware of my YouTube channel, and also asked for the guidelines of what I was able to do and what I was and wasn't able to do. Make sure your main stream of income is secured first. Then I would say maximum at a time you want to be looking at focusing on 3 income streams, including your main one, because that's been my way of building multiple streams of income. And I've never had burnout before. I've never had mental breakdowns. I've never had anything like that. I get overwhelmed sometimes and I do get stressed sometimes, but I've never like experienced like a really bad reaction from trying to do too much. And the good thing about non-active income streams as well is if things get hectic, like I can easily cut them out. So for example, let's say if you had like hair orders, or if you had like a product shipping business, for example, that's a very active income stream. And if you feel overwhelmed, you still have to fulfill those orders, but there's no income stream that I have besides my main job where I feel obligated to turn up and do something if I'm not feeling it. And I think that's what allows me to just continue to build income streams in a sustainable manner. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.